Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ninja Warrior podcast. Tonight we are doing season 15 episodes 3 and 4. Yeah, I hate to be the one to be saying this one, but I'll be honest, I am not even really all that excited for this because I don't even remember much about these two episodes at all, really. Yeah, I will be completely honest. I am starting to get a little bit discouraged about covering this season. But, of course, we're still doing it, obviously. After all, we still, I guess, theoretically enjoy Ninja. I mean, it's theoretical, so, define enjoy at that point. Yeah, exactly. I think it's more of just, it's either we're all starting to grow out of it at this point, or B, the show just sucks now, and I think it's both. Maybe a little bit. But we're here to talk about ANW 15 in episodes 3 and 4, starting with episode 3. The obstacles! Pretty disappointing, especially in episode 4's case. Yeah, episode 5 had all obstacles we had already seen, aside from one, the cubes in obstacle 5's position. I'll be honest, this is probably the first good obstacle this season. Yeah, you can tell what they're trying to go for here, but I don't think it's a little much. I think it actually does work, and I like the obstacles gimmick. I like how you have to turn the handles. It actually does, the weird-shaped handles actually do make me feel like it could work on stage 3 if they make it a little bit more difficult, but yeah. Honestly, the cubes, I don't think it's that bad of an obstacle. I think it's actually pretty good, especially because I'm in the standards of this season as a whole. Yeah, definitely. That's, I guess, all we have to say, since all the obstacles we've already seen. It's pole vault, grease lightning, log runner, kite surfer, and again the warp wall. Nothing really different. But anyway, moving on, we have the first one of the episode, which was a little bit surprising, Caitlin Bergstrom. Yeah, Caitlin had a kind of a story that's a little much about her relationship with David White and how they're already married. They met in 2019 and now they're already married. I'll be honest, I think it's a little quick for a relationship. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a judgment thing. I mean, you might know quickly, but I don't know, it just feels so quick. We're immediately introduced to them as a couple, and they're just immediately married. Yeah, because they never competed with each other while they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and now already husband and wife. It just feels like time went by really fast for these two. Yeah, but she had a decent one, getting all the way to the cube, so she ended up going out, and she did end up moving. I guess that isn't a surprise. No, it is not. With our little women as you compete, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, after that, we had a little bit of a showcase for the obstacle grease lightning, because that was totally not the first night to introduce it. Yeah, totally not. They just talked about it, looked about it, and showed us some ninjas to fall on, including an unknown person who was not told to us by the show. Yeah, we weren't really told who this person was. We're showing a picture of her on screen, at least what we could find. But generally, it's just, once again, similar to the situation, I think, last episode. It was just another person that was unidentified by the show. I honestly just, thought she was one of the women in the one-off that, that just wasn't identified, but apparently, according to Ninja Wiki, it is a different person, so, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. We also had Joey DeLilio, which was a pretty big shock. Yeah, she did end up moving on, but it was still surprising to see, especially Joey DeLilio, because again, I was expecting a lot more from her. Then we had Blental Baker, who was also taken out by Grease Lightning, or Nikki Zink. I have nothing to say about either of their ones. Yeah, we also have Evan Perez and Glenn Davis also out on Grease Lightning. And I guess the one thing though with Glenn Davis is that he's one of a couple of ninjas who got to celebrate their birthday on the course as well. Yeah, he turned 60 years old. And, yeah, that's about it. I think only a few ninjas have done that. I know it's a coincidence thing, but only a few have. Yeah, I think Brett Sims is one of them. Alright, after that we have the next show in one. Those being Roberto and how do I say this? I'm sorry. Nasakasa. Okay, I think that's how you say it.
Nasakasa Gilmore, or two competitors who won ANW Junior during the first and second seasons.
Yeah, they both got stories, or they got a segment that were for both of them as the brothers. But they each got a segment of how they are from Africa and how, they're foreigners and that still didn't change it being ninja. And I guess the segment was kind of interesting because of one thing they said. It's just like you need to understand English in order to do ninja. And I'm like, that's kind of why Sasuke's enjoyable for us Americans.
Yeah, actually, that is a good point. That is kind of just why you are even able to watch Sasuke. Like, you don't need to understand what the commentators are saying in order to get it. It helps, but, you don't need to.
Yeah, I think it's genuinely what they're going for here. And honestly, I bought that.
Yeah, both had really good ones. Roberto almost fell on Grease Lightning, however, he was able to recover as he did not let go on the first dismount, but was able to get some momentum back and got it on the second attempt pretty good.
Yeah. Then he rushed through the rest of the course, falling on Kite Surfer, so a little unfortunate, but definitely fast enough to move on. And then we had Nakasa was one who ended up being the first finisher of the night. And I have nothing to say else beyond that.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate, but yeah, he was the first finisher, and that's literally the only note we have about his one. Like, come on, we need more things to say here.
The show isn't giving us much. Like, it isn't giving us much to, branch off with and actually, discuss and talk about. And there are some things within this episode that deserve, mini mentions here and there. But honestly, there wasn't too much to go on, to elaborate on when it comes down to both these episodes. And I think you'll see why, especially as I go into episode 4 as well later on.
Yeah, but anyway, after I'm not even gonna try to say it. After the last kid.
You're not even gonna try.
Nope, I can't say his name. But after... Okay, here we go. After the Gormore twins, we had...
Are they twins?
The brothers, so close enough. They're about 15, so that works.
Well, we're just doing anything to extend the segment.
Oh, absolutely 100%. Anyway, after them, we had...
Lane Sabaz in a fast-forward segment.
Yeah, this is actually kind of interesting, as we have Lane Sabaz, who is actually the daughter of Choice Sabaz, who used to be on ANW way back in the day.
Yeah, she was one of the earliest female trailblazers who did decently well during ANW's 4 and 5. And yeah, I think it is pretty cool that her daughter ended up competing.
Yeah, I'm surprised her mother was competing alongside her, but still cool this time. Lane ended up falling on a second obstacle, unfortunately, so that was kind of disappointing. Then we had Johnny Brown, who my first reaction was, hello, stupid guy number 1.
Really, dude?
He's dressed in a flying squirrel costume, and Aqua made the comment, this crowd's going nuts. I don't think I have words for it.
It's stupid. I don't think I have any more to say that. I don't think we have anything more to offer, though.
Yeah, no, but he fell on Kite Surfer where they made a joke that because he was dressed as a flying squirrel, he couldn't fly, whatever. Then we had Brandon Thomas, who was taken out by the Cubes. Then we had David White, the Cake Ninja, who got one of the faster times in the night.
Yeah, he finished just barely out of the court to get the Mega Wall, and unfortunately he ended up missing his shot.
Yeah, he ended up failing his one and only attempt, so he did not get the Mega Wall, but still one of the faster times in the night. I believe he was second fastest?
Yeah, second fastest.
Alright. But anyway, after that, we had the next shown one, that being Ginny McCall, the mother of Jesse Graff. I guess I was gonna go to see her.
Yeah, she had a story about her being 71, but still able to do some really cool things for a 71-year-old. I was actually kind of impressed.
Yeah, one thing that the show refused to mention about Ginny is that this is not her first time actually competing on ANW, as she could be in ANW 9 alongside Jessie. She fell on the first obstacle and had her one cut. Yeah, it's just a detail they didn't bother to mention. Ginny did decent, I guess, making it to Grease Lightning, where she held on but she did not make the dismount and held on for maybe about 30 seconds before having to drop. But still, the persistence there was cool to see.
Yeah, you could tell she was really determined to get as far as she could, and I'm sure she probably was always a little disappointed, but she still did well.
Yeah, and with this crowd, she could have realistically moved on.
Yeah, funnily enough, yep. The third place woman, Joey Delario, again, second obstacle, she moved on, regardless.
Yeah. Anyway, after that we had
Joelle Neeb in a fast-forward segment.
Yep, Joelle ended up falling on Grease Lightning. Then we had DC Banks, who was a veteran, who went out on Kite Surfer. And then we had Austin Hale, who was also a veteran, who fell on the cubes and was able to move on
Yeah, after that we had Elijah Browning, the boss.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of cool to see him again. He had an early exit last season, so we're going to see him back here competing. I don't have anything else to say about his run, though. He completed the course in the third fastest time. Again, I wish I had more to say about the boss's run.
Yeah, it's like the season doesn't provide much shit to talk about.
It is, yeah, that is exactly my problem with the season. I guess, maybe it's something we can elaborate at the end here, but, seriously, that's my exact reasoning. After that we have Jesse Graff, who had a mediocre one.
I mean, it was decent.
Yeah. She made it to the fifth obstacle, the cubes, where she had a very surprising end. She mapped out her approach, but unfortunately missed her first grab and was not able to complete the obstacle. Still moved on to the finals, but honestly a disappointment.
Yeah, I think I was letting Jesse to complete the course, so yeah, a little disappointing. After that we had Brandon Mears. I was surprised to see him again.
Yeah, this is apparently going to be Brandon's final season, and it's pretty unfortunate that he fell on Grease Lightning, so yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate way to end his career, but it's better than failing on a balance obstacle, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, he got way better coverage than he did here on ANW 14. At least here wasn't automatically told to us where he was gonna fall. It was okay.
Yeah, so good to get to see him. I hope Dan Poizzi competes as well later on. He's not competing in either episode for today's thing, but I hope he competes soon.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be pretty sad if only one Tower of Power completes this season.
Yeah. After that, we had RJ Wellman as the final shown one of the night, and he had the fastest time of the night.
Yeah, RJ had a blank you missed it one, a pretty clean one, where we got to the end, where we got to the buzzard in a mid-6, meaning he got a chance at the Mega Wall.
Yeah, RJ came oh so close to getting to the top, where his hand touched the ledge, and touched the top of the warp wall, but he was not able to grab and hold on. So I guess that half a foot really made a difference for him.
Yeah, him specifically, because again, he got it last year, and he almost got it this year, so a little bit more surprising, but still, fast time tonight, and easily moving on.
Yep, after that we had the runoffs, starting off with Jason Grossman and Nigel Henry, both of whom had their runs cut from the actual, broadcast.
Yeah, Jason Grossman fell on Kite Surfer, and Nigel Henry fell on Grease Lightning, and the two had a pretty not entertaining race as they were fast-forwarded.
Yeah, Jason Grossman ended up winning as Nigel Henry fell on the Beehive, and then we had the women's bracket featuring Delisa Himka and Amelia Leonardi.
Both of whom had their runs cut.
Yeah, Delisa ended up falling on Grease Lightning, and Amelia fell in the exact same place, but again, neither of them was shown in any capacity. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we thought, I think it was Delisa that won, so I assumed they were shown. I might be wrong on that one, but just I assumed that one of them would have been shown, just not mentioned, but no. According to Ninja Wiki, they were cut, so I'm gonna trust Ninja Wiki on that one.
Yeah, the Wiki's trustworthy, right?
I mean, you'd think. I mean, obviously, can we trust the Wiki?
Trusting Wikis, it's
I mean, schools always Wikipedia as a bad source. I mean, is a fandom wiki a bad source?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it is like the best place to get like knowledge on like specific characters and cartoons and whatnot. So I don't know.
I mean, what school would make you do research on those?
I mean, if you already watched the cartoon and picked up like a project topic, you probably know everything about the cartoon.
Yeah, but I think we're getting off topic here just a little bit.
Yeah, both were given a mini segment where both talked about, I guess just a little bit up. Both were given a mini segment on Jaleesa's being about her ninja career and how her mother was actually an American gladiator, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and Amelia got a segment about her cheerleader and her hopes for that career. But the two actually had the first actual kind of close race.
Yeah, neither of them fell throughout the entirety of the course. It was just a straight up close race for the both of them. However, close race for the both of them, well, Jaleesa, it was just a close race for the both of them, well, Jaleesa ended up winning and hitting a buzzer.
Yeah, Amelia ended up falling on sideways, just feet away from the buzzer, unfortunately, but yeah. And I guess that allows us to move on to episode 4. Wow, we covered this really quickly.
Yeah, 16 minutes and we're already on to the second episode, so let's talk about it. Obstacles, literally the same from episode 2.
Yeah, no changes. Nothing different, literally the exact same lineup from that episode. These were clearly filmed on the same night, and if they weren't, they were just too lazy to change it.
Yeah! Like, come on, guys! Like, the biggest problem, we already elaborated on the fact that they don't bother to change the obstacles. It was fine, like, I guess, like, at least they were changing new obstacles every round. It was at least a new set. This is literally the same obstacle. This is literally the same layout, no different from the second qualifier.
Yeah, and just to note, we are referring to the second qualifier that was shown in episode 1. But yeah, it is the same exact obstacle layout, which is really unfortunate because that means we have nothing new to discuss when relating to it.
Yeah, and that should definitely not be the case. I guess the one-offs obstacles were different, but it's not that we hadn't already seen them and we'd have covered them later.
Yeah, exactly. This episode... Oh, it's obstacles again, the same, and it's really disappointing. Like, really disappointing.
Yeah, but we're gonna press on, people, because that's what we do. So, the first one of episode 4 was Johnson Turner, who makes chicken, and they basically just use that and to make a whole bunch of bad chicken jokes.
Yeah, basically, they just started shouting, "Spread your wings!" all over the course. I guess he also had a save on the getaway, I guess, but yeah, he fell and winged the bells. I think we're gonna move on just because I don't care enough to say anymore.
Is that mentality for everyone aside from veterans? We don't care mentality here.
I think so. We are terrible people. Oh, and now this kind of just comes down to us just doing it out of obligation.
A little bit, absolutely. I wish it was a little more than that, but ever since season 14, it has definitely felt more of obligation, more than actually want. But I still have fun doing this to you guys.
Yeah, I think, like, without the dynamic, I would have stopped doing this, like, a while ago, because it isn't fun without friends, and honestly, it isn't fun in general. But, you know, I think at least having you guys suffer with me makes it a lot better.
You didn't find this as suffering?
I'm not sure. I think that was just the word that came to mind.
Just make it sound like the worst thing ever. It's fine.
Yep. After that, we had Cade Perkins, who had a kind of confusing story where he could not walk for the first couple years of his life, but apparently this was because of a food allergy.
Yeah, so apparently, like, he went on a diet, and that's made him get the energy to walk. It's kind of confusing how that ended up happening.
Yeah, they don't really do a good job explaining how it got better, but regardless, he got better and made it all the way to Ring the Bells, where he surprisingly fell.
Yeah, he almost made it, but was not able to complete the obstacle. And then we had a fast-forward segment featuring Angela Fuller.
Yeah, I don't really know why they showed her as she fell on the first obstacle and had no fanfare whatsoever. And unlike the next person, Nate Person, who I laughed my ass off at because his last name is Person.
Yeah, don't try to sugarcoat that. Someone had to laugh at him for that because whose last name is fucking Person? Like, it's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird, actually, but, you know, it's just, I find it just kind of funny that that's the last name people could have.
I mean, it could be a first name, too, and I feel really bad for that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, he fell in Ring the Bells, along with Chris Ganji, weirdly enough.
Yeah, Chris, he ended up falling on Ring the Bells, but Flex did not compete with him.
Yeah, Flex is apparently competing in another night because they did not say if she was or wasn't competing, so I hope she's competing later.
Yeah, I just find it so weird that, like, they didn't have them compete together. Like, that's usually how they do it.
Yeah, Jesse was actually at home. And again, they'll separate. Like, there's so many times now that Chris is staying home. I guess they just want to say, let's give Jesse that role now, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, after Chris's one, we had Maggie Owen, one of LeBrec's students, who had a mini segment about college life, and by mini, I mean a lot smaller than anyone else's segments. And it's like, it was the most vague explanation talk ever, really. They didn't really elaborate on much.
Yeah, they kind of just said the generic stuff and how schedules are difficult to deal with. That's really about it, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, you'd think they'd do more, but regardless, that's what they covered. Maggie made all the way to Ring the Bells, where she fell in the final handhold. I was also nothing going to be the first finisher of the night.
Yeah, I thought that would make sense, so it was a little surprising to see her fall. But after that, we had Scott Balins, who was one of the more entertaining ones of the night.
Yeah, Scott, he had a segment about his kids and how they started forming Backyard Ninja Kids as like kind of like a bland, and then opened a ninja gym as well. Oh, and then opened the ninja gym.
Yeah. Scott Balins was seen in ANW 11, and his kids competed on Ninja Junior that previous year. So, yeah, it was pretty cool to see Scott back here, and he became the night's first finisher. Yeah, I don't think he got one of, like, the top times, but still a good one. And, of course, like, again, I wasn't thinking to hit a buzzer.
Yeah, no, especially I don't think he did that in season 11. I mean, correct me, future me, but I don't think he did.
Yeah, but anyway, after Scott Balins, we had
Brian Messler, who ended up getting knocked out by the very first obstacle. We showed this guy why.
Yeah, same with the next guy, Brian Pache, who's a BMX guy, who does biking obstacle courses, which admittedly enough is kind of cool, but he fell on Grease Lightning, so nothing about his run was going to be special. Then we had James Wilson, who fell on Ring the Bells.
Yeah, after that we had probably the shock of the night, Donovan Matoya.
Yeah, Donovan. He had promised a 360 on the Mega Wall, which I would have loved to see him try. But because of that, he was going quite fast, and he ended up falling on Domino Effect, being the only victim of that obstacle that night.
Yeah, I find it really funny how Akbar is like, he's got this, and then he immediately falls, not even a second later on Domino Effect. It's really funny to me.
Yeah, Akbar was so confident that he said it, and then he fell immediately. Yeah, but still, one of the bigger shocks, that we had Jackson Twait, who was also gunning for the Mega Wall as well.
Yeah, Twait was given a segment about talking about different animals and whatnot, but that's typical for him. I don't think we really need to elaborate on it.
Yeah, there was something about it that really stuck out. Tway had a pretty good one all the way up to Ring the Bells, who ended up missing the final handhold, meaning he was not able to try the Mega Wall, but he did have the fastest pace to that point.
Yeah, he definitely had the speed to get there, so I was kind of surprised to see him not make it, but of course, that's where he ended up. And after him, we had
Ben Balins, the son of Scott Balins.
Yeah, Ben, in a fast forward segment, I guess we didn't mention that, but Ben failed on Ring the Bells, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, then we had another one of those pointless showings where you question why they were shown. Sandy Sanders, who was probably only shown because she's 41. I got no other reasoning here.
Yeah, nothing. She fell on the first obstacle, that's why we're bringing it up. Then we had Taylor Green. Best one of the night, by far.
Yeah, Taylor. I am absolutely surprised to see her on this season. I thought she wouldn't be able to compete till next year, but she turned 15, and yeah, she completed the course. A really impressive one from Taylor.
Yeah, honestly, really good. I was honestly not expecting her to actually go, actually achieve that milestone, but she did. Pretty impressive. I'm quite excited for that. I guess I'm not really showing it, but still, she's also the first woman to hit a buzzer this season. Obviously, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it took them long enough on that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A woman definitely should have hit a buzzer before, like Maddie Howard or something. We had 3 women. Fall on the 5th obstacle during this season. Well, they could have easily have gotten a buzzer otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. After Taylor, we had another fast forward segment featuring Drew Marinelli, who was taken out by The Getaway, Derek Pavoni, who was taken out by Ring the Bells, and then we had Ninja veteran Tyler Yamauchi, who had another one of those big surprising fails. Well, because he's only 5'1", he was not able to make it up the warp wall. The first competitor did not do that in years.
Yeah, it's very uncommon. Usually people know how to do the wall if they get there. So it's surprising that Yamauchi didn't make it again. It's one of the first years, I don't know the last person who failed the normal size warp wall all 3 times. I'm curious actually who that was. I might end up looking that up during the editing process because I'm actually legitimately curious.
Yeah, maybe you could point that out. After that, we had the next shown one, that being Caden Lebsek. And he was the last shown one as well.
Yeah, Caden, last Ninja standing from the last 2 seasons, had the fastest run of the night and became the first and only competitor to be able to attempt the Mega Wall.
Yeah, and it was quite cool. He didn't really want to, but he did it because, he got it. He's afraid of heights, so it's probably because of that he didn't push off, but he definitely could have made it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It looked like he could. He just didn't push off at the last step. It just looked like he got scared at the end, which I can attest to. I can definitely agree with.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm high, I just get afraid to do things. Or just in general, so definitely, definitely I can understand. After that, we had the final fast forward segment where we had Max Feinberg, who became the next finisher. And then we had Bailey Bold, who also finished the course as well.
Yeah, Bailey didn't really have much of a notable one, but still, finished the course.
After that, we had the one-offs featuring the men's bracket, Drew Marinani and James Wilson. These two had a very intense race where Drew led for the majority of it, but ended up falling on Beehive. So James, who was behind, could finish Beehive and move on, and he almost didn't by having a one-handed save.
Yeah, it was actually pretty impressive to see him hang on like that, but he was able to finish and move on to the semifinals.
Yep, finally we had the women's bracket. Featuring Amy Tibbetts-Wooton versus Kidna Mackenzie, both of whom had their ones cut.
Yeah, we'll get to the one results in just a bit because we have not covered the cut ones in either episode, so we're doing all those last, I guess.
Yeah, I completely forgot about them from last episode, but we're doing it all in one. So this race was also kinda close, where we had Kidna fall on Beehive, and Amy, and because of that, Allie ended up winning.
Yeah, you were calling her Amy this whole time.
I'm an idiot. And no one corrected me.
Honestly, I was internally laughing in the back, but I don't think I had a reason to correct you.
Thanks. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is the cut ones, starting with the cut ones for episode 15. Wiley Porter made it to Grease Lightning in 5th place. In 3rd place, her one was not shown, which I think makes some sense, but still a little disappointing. But yeah, she was the only person not to be shown in any capacity during episode 4. Going back to episode 3 real quickly, we had Josh Herman Aka, who also had his one cut where he fell on Kite Surfer, and that's it.
yeah, that was everyone that we ended up having to cover when it comes down to that. And yeah, that's ANW 15 episodes. 3 and 4. I think that's all we have to say about it.
Yeah, this took a lot less time than the last 2 episodes did. I guess just because, again, there were less obstacles to talk about, and we had a lot less to say.
Yeah, we had a couple shockers like Joey DeWillio and Donovan Matoyo, but honestly, two very uneventful nights, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, again, we had some high moments like RJ Woman getting the fastest time of the night and almost getting the Mega Wall. Like, that was surprising. Again, shocking fails, there were a couple of those. And shocking fails, we had a couple of those, like I mentioned. We had, like, Jenny McCall, all who, besides enough that, again, that's a high point for me. But, again, I wish I had more to say when it comes down to certain competitors and the nights, both nights. Again, I think we were both disappointed in the fact that none of us, we kind of just went through one by one, and now here we are at the end with a lot of time, with us taking less time than usual.
Yeah, kind of disappointing, but hey, sometimes it's just the way things go. And yeah, so next time, we're going to be covering episode 5.
Yeah, so this situation with this one. Episode 5 is airing later today. So, depending on when we get to recording the next episode of the podcast, it will either just be episode 5 or episode 5 and 6. Again, I don't know if we're going to wait, but this is a case where we'll see. It's guaranteed to cover episode 5, but depending on when we record it, it could also feature episode 6 as well. Who knows, but we'll probably make it so it only features one episode, but who knows, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, again, it's up to us when we end up filming, which, again, it's random. We just film whenever we feel like it, and this was a case where we were just all free that day, and we just wanted to get it done because we were already behind. And the next episode's airing literally later today, so yeah, I wanted to get it done over with.
Alright, but anyway, we will see you guys next time. For what we just said, episode 5 of the Qualifiers at least, maybe episode 5 at least, maybe 6, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time for that. Peace.